Welcome to the Skill Library demo. In this demonstration, we will talk about how to access your reading, speaking, and writing skills and activities. Once you're on the LTA Toolkit page, there are two ways to access the Skill Library. In the lower navigation or sub-navigation, you can click Skill Library, or down here in our images and key features or tools for the toolkit, you can click on Reading, Speaking, and Writing Curriculum. Either link will take you directly to the skill library. Once you're in the skill library, you'll be prompted to pick a focus. We have 4 different areas to enter. You can focus on reading nonfiction, you can focus on reading fiction, writing skills, and speaking and listening. For this demonstration, we're going to go into the reading nonfiction, the writing center, and speaking and listening. Let's go ahead and jump into reading nonfiction. This is the place that you would go if you're teaching an informational text. So all content areas, that informational text, this is a great place to go when teaching reading. On this page, you can select your grade level band. You can select middle high, 4-5, 2-3, or K1. What you're looking at here is LiteracyTA's 5 steps to confident reading. We believe that reading should have a clear routine or process that students can use over and over again, eventually master through practice, and then transfer to other classes in order for their reading comprehension to improve. This process is supported by literacy skills for each step. On the right-hand side, there's a skill that aligns to each step in the 5-step process. What's really great about this as a teacher is that there is a drop-down menu that I can choose for a reading purpose. We get you started with basic purpose. We have 5 different skills here that you can start the reading process, but you can choose other purposes. For example, you may choose read for main ideas, or you might be reading an argument, or read for informational text. Read collaboratively. Get a bunch of your students talking the entire period about text that you're reading. Or how about those students who like to draw? This is read and visualize. All the activities combine reading, speaking, and drawing. Or maybe you're in a research project and you want to teach your students the reading process through research. Maybe you want to read for author's purpose, or read structure, or read multiple sources at one time. Let's go ahead and choose reading for argument because that is a popular topic these days. So if I wanted to teach an argument, I know that I have a text that has an argument. I'm going to click read argument, and you notice that all of the skills refresh. They still follow the 5 steps to confident reading, but now they all focus on argumentation. What you're seeing here is a lesson plan. You now have a lesson plan for teaching that text. All you need is a text, a reading purpose, and that's it. We take care of everything else. All of these skills are not just independent skills. They blend reading independently, talking in pairs, working in small groups, creating posters, rereading, purposeful rereading. All of these skills have embedded in them routines that leverage reading, speaking, and writing in order for students to make meaning on their own. So all you need is a text and a purpose for reading or prompt, and you are indeed ready to go. So you could come here and say, I have a text and I want to work with my students on reading for main ideas. Choose read for main ideas, teach the 5 steps with these 5 skills, and over time, with practice, your students will become more proficient at reading for main ideas. This is one way to access our skills in the skill library. Remember, we clicked on Toolkit, then we clicked on Skill Library, and inside the skill library, we clicked Reading Nonfiction, and that's what took us to this page. Another way to look at our skills is through depth of knowledge. We call it Building DOK. Under the 5 steps to confident reading, you will see Building DOK. Click on Building DOK, and you will see that we have taken our skills and we've organized them into different categories. This time, we've organized them into depth of knowledge, or for those of you who study Bloom's, this could be seen as Bloom's taxonomy. Comprehension is on the left, and as you move to the right, you move to analysis and synthesis, and the thinking processes, the higher level thinking, the higher order thinking increases as you move to the right. These large categories, like building vocabulary skills or organizing information skills, have inside of them or under them skills to teach these specific ways of thinking. So if I were to click on analytical reading, what you're going to find is a number of our skills that get kids to analyze the text that they're reading. And again, like all of our skill pages, you can click on different grade level bands. On this page, you're now not being shown a 5-step reading process, but now just the individual skills that you can teach. To do what? Well, to teach specifically analytical reading skills. So this is a different way of looking at how our skills are organized. Let's go back for review. We click on the LTA Toolkit, and we want to go to the skill library. I can either click skill library in the sub-navigation, or I can click reading, speaking, and writing curriculum. If I click on the reading, speaking, and writing curriculum, I'm taken to this next page where I must make a choice. Do I want to teach nonfiction, fiction, writing, or speaking and listening? I chose reading nonfiction. And then there was this familiar 5 steps to confident reading. From here, I scroll down and then I see building DOK, just at the bottom of that 5th step. Building DOK opens up a whole other area of thinking about the skills that we offer in the skill library. The skills are organized by the types of thinking kids do. So here are my comprehension skill categories. Here's my analysis skill categories. And then lastly, my synthesis skill categories, which of course includes evaluation, application, these other higher or highest order thinking. There is a third way. The third way to reach our skills is by clicking on the standards. So I'm in the LTA Toolkit, and I click on standards. This is the third way you can access our skills. On this page, you're going to click your state or select your state, and then you're going to give us some information. So I'm going to click on California, and then under California, I can choose my literacy focus. I'm going to choose writing. Then I can choose my grade level. If I choose anything above 5th grade, there's going to be another question added, and that is, what is your content area? So I've chosen writing, 7th grade, and now I'm going to choose history or social studies. I press go, and now what I'm seeing is the standard for history, social studies, for writing in 7th grade, and I'm seeing skills that I can teach that specific standard. This is absolutely powerful for teams that are working together to teach standard-based instruction. This is essential for teachers who are using data to drive instructional decisions. When you get your data from your tests that you provide your students, the benchmark tests, the mid-year tests, diagnostic tests, and that gives you a report about skills and which skills to teach, you can take those standards, the standards that are outlined in the student review or the report card, and you can now go to this section and choose the specific skills that your students need to learn based on standard and teach activities from this section here. So if your team is focused on, let's say, I don't know, W5, and you want to bring a lesson or create a lesson plan around W5, you can come to W5 and you can take the skills from this section and build a unit so that you are targeting those specific skills and standards that students need to learn. It's absolutely powerful. And this isn't just for history. If I go back and I say, well, I'm an arts teacher, or I am a science teacher. Click on Science and press Go, and we have the standards and the skills listed for science. And then if you are a 9th grade teacher or a 10th grade teacher, the same is true. And everything changes, everything updates, the standard updates, the skills update, and now you are equipped with a roadmap, if you will, to teach the skills and the standards that students are the weakest. Or you can teach skills and standards based on the curriculum maps that you've built or the units that you've built. On the right-hand side, I haven't talked too much about this, but on the right-hand side, these are e-coaches, remember our newsletter, that we have pulled in that are relevant to this standard. So these are conversations that exist in e-coach that are relevant to the standard that you're looking at or attempting to teach. This is in our standards section. Now that I've gotten your attention, I want to go over the 3 different ways you can access our skills in the skill library. The first thing you need to do is be in the LTA toolkit. Once you're in the toolkit, you can click on Skill Library, you can click on Standards, or inside of the skill library, and inside one of the reading sections, whether it be fiction or nonfiction, you can click on Building DOK. Those are the 3 different ways that you can find skills. Now let's go take a look at a couple more things. I said that we were going to look at, in the LTA toolkit, we were going to look at a couple other areas. So let's go ahead and go into the skill library. And now let's look at the Writing Center. The Writing Center is designed very similarly to our reading sections. The Writing Center offers a 3-step writing process instead of the 5 that you saw in reading. The 3-step writing process also has skills that are directly aligned to each step in the process. So teachers can confidently teach this process, the 1, the 2, and the 3, and have skills to support every step. And just like in the reading section, if you open this drop-down, you can choose different types of writing, like argument writing, informative writing, writing research, problem solution, compare and contrast. When you click on, say, argument writing, everything's going to refresh. Now we have an argument writing plan, integrating sources, teaching students how to edit their writing, peer review groups. So this section is powerful because we all have different purposes for writing, and we all have different writing needs. When you come into the Writing Center, you can choose your writing purpose by opening this drop-down and then choosing that drop-down, and then what you see is the skills refresh, but they're still matching this process that students can practice and repeat in every class across campus. The last section that I'm going to show you in the skill library is the speaking and listening. The speaking and listening does not have a 1, 2, 3 process because there's different things that you would want students to do. So much like when you enter into the skill library and you must make a choice about fiction or nonfiction or writing or speaking and listening, you need to make another choice in the speaking and listening section. Do you want your students speaking academically over here on the left? Would you like your students to engage in in-class presentations? Or are you interested in our collaborative activities? Based on your purpose and based on your lesson plan, you're going to want to select a larger category here. Let's say you want to do in-class presentations. I want to work on students' public speaking. Click on in-class presentations and you'll be taken to 3 very specific skills that you can teach students. One of my favorites is the 1-minute speech. The 1-minute speech allows students to draft an entire speech all within 1 minute of presentation time. So they learn how to write a very concise speech and then deliver it. The writing of it takes about 25 minutes, maybe a little less, but the delivery is only a single minute. There's a template and support resources that you can use to help them with this. It is absolutely powerful to see, and you can get more public speaking done with the 1-minute speech. High five presentation is another great strategy that you can use with your kids. The high five presentation outlines for them how to build that perfect slide that doesn't have too many words, that has just the right amount of content, the right amount of imagery. It's called the high five presentation. And you can even blend the two if you wanted to. You can have them build high five presentations and then deliver it in a 1-minute speech, if that was interesting to you. Let's go back and look at some other ones. I'm going to go to my skill library, and I'm going to choose speaking and listening again. This time I'm going to click academic discussions. So academic discussions are like those Socratic seminars and debates, and we have those at LiteracyTA. Every one of our activities like this in the academic discussions is fully supported with classroom materials, academic language supports, guides and worksheets to prepare the students for the actual day of discussion. We support you in every area, including the assessment process with rubrics. Students feel confident, teachers feel confident. We have what you need to get this very important work done. So this is our skill library, and the skill library is located inside your LTA toolkit. Remember, you can get to it in 2 different ways. If I start at my LTA toolkit landing page, I can either get to it by clicking in the subnav skill library, or I can get to it by clicking reading, speaking, and writing curriculum. Either way, it's going to take me right to the skill library where I want to be. Then I need to make some good decisions about what I want to teach my students. Remember, you can teach them a process in this section. You can teach them Webb's depth of knowledge in this section, or you can click on standards and really target those areas of need that our students have based on the data or based on the work that you've done, the formative assessments you've done in your own classroom. We hope you're as excited about the skill library as we are. Enjoy, teach like a champion. All of these resources are yours.